I'm visiting the Griffith region in New South Wales, and this morning I'm up early at Hermit's Cave Lookout for a spectacular sunrise. Rich in agriculture, Griffith is the largest wine, citrus and rice growing region in Australia. It's also the perfect place to grow walnuts, and where I'm headed, they know a thing or two about that. Cole, driving up the Sturman-Webster driveway, it felt like this walnut orchard just went on forever and ever and ever. We're on a big piece of land here.
Yeah, correct. So on Tabata Orchard, we've got 910 hectares of walnuts.
Okay.
So it's around 283,000 trees.
And Cole, I've come at the right time because it's harvesting season.
Yes, correct. So we just started harvesting around 2 weeks ago. So we're just into the full swing of it now.
I'm really interested to see what a walnut fruit looks like when they're on the tree.
Okay, so the variety we've got here is a Howard variety.
Yep.
So that's what they would look like on the tree.
Yeah.
The fruit has got a hull on it.
Gee, it almost looks like a little apple, doesn't it?
Yeah, correct, correct. So with our harvest process, what we do is we shake the tree, the nuts will fall on the ground, we then blow them and we sweep them into windrows, and then we pick them up with a harvester. Product then goes across from the harvesters into our hulling line, where the huller actually takes off that hull.
Yep.
So what it will essentially do, it removes the hull until you get a nut like that. We dry that from, say, 30 to 40% moisture, and then we'll dry that down to around 9 and 10% moisture, which is a good shelf moisture.
Right.
So that will hold them there.
Now, is there a trick to opening walnuts? I remember as a little kid, I'd sit there, spend hours. I think my parents did that to keep me occupied.
Yeah.
I never was able to open one. What's your trick?
If you don't have a tool, then you can probably get the two nuts together.
Yes.
And then you just crack them.
And that's because they're super fresh, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
They're probably better when they're dried, so that one there is quite moist, so the
Yes.
skin will be a little bit sour.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I can
And
taste that.
once you got it, kernel's a lot drier, so if you tasted that one there, you'd taste the difference.
Gee, I love walnuts. I reckon I'm going to take a few of these and maybe make up a little salad.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Walnuts as far as the eye can see. My new friend Colin has been busy cracking these nuts, shelling them for me. I just love them because they're not only delicious, but they're also full of plant-based omega-3. And I want to serve them in a salad, but I also want to show you can actually use them in a dressing. So in a mortar and pestle, I'm going to start with 1 clove of garlic, so we'll just pop that in there. And we'll need a pinch of salt just to break down that garlic so it becomes quite sticky, and also to season the dressing. So we'll just give that a pound. That salt's also really important because it takes away that real harshness that garlic has, so it's just a little more mellow, if you like. Okay, good. Now for the walnuts, so a handful of them go straight in, and we'll crush these until they're almost like a crumb. And you'll see as soon as you start crushing that, they almost release their oil, so they're becoming slightly sticky, and that's what we're after. And the smell, oh, walnuts and garlic, just the best. I love this. Excellent. Now some capers for a pop of saltiness. In they go. Just drain them, give them a crush. And we need some acidity. You can add some lemon. I love red wine vinegar, a splash. And if you can get your hands on walnut oil, it's a fantastic ingredient to have in your cupboard. Just a splash of this really gives this vinaigrette a depth of flavour. So say about a teaspoon at most. Some pepper, freshly cracked pepper. And you'll see the walnuts almost transform this into a sort of a milky consistency. Love it. Now let's bring the whole thing together with some really good quality Australian extra virgin olive oil. Good glug of that. I want something quite robust. And then just gently mix that together. Let's get onto the lettuce leaf. So I'm using radicchio, a classic. It's slightly bitter. It works really nicely with walnuts, and it's really going to stand up to the sweetness of our fig. So I'll just take the base off. I'm going to cut that in half. Look at that gorgeous colour. So don't have to be pedantic with this. Just pull off the radicchio leaves, and the closer you get to the centre, the more tender they are. And we're just going to rip them onto a large, generous plate. You know, we're in Griffith. Everything's generous here with the food. Plates don't come in small portions. Everything's large portions. So, of course, I should do a large, generous salad. Okay, pull that apart. And some peppery rocket leaves will just mix up into the salad. Next, for our figs. I'd be foolish not to use them in a salad like this. We're just going to take the tops off them. Cut that in half. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I love figs. They're just the sweetest fruit, but you can change it up depending on the season. If you've got some great peaches, goes really nicely with this salad. Now that I've cut it, I actually want to break them apart. So just pull them in half again. So we've got quarters of our figs. I just think it looks so much better when it's rustic like this. And some prosciutto, but this salad is just as great as a vegetarian option, so you can just leave it out if you don't want that saltiness from the cured meat, and just drape that in and around the radicchio. Looks good. And some cheese. I'm using buffalo mozzarella. It's got a lovely creaminess to it. Just take it out of the water there. You just want to break the mozzarella ball up. So you want enough for each person, so break that up into, I'd say 8 to 10 pieces, and tuck it underneath the prosciutto. And the textural component, our walnuts, just grab a few and just break them up. It's like a rainbow on a plate right there. Love it. And the dressing, just give it one last mix, and we'll drizzle that over the top. The best way to really enjoy this is to have everything together. So a little fig, some prosciutto, a walnut, and some mozzarella. And that's like the ultimate little package right there. Everything you want in a salad. Salads don't have to be boring if you make it like this using walnuts. They are delicious and they're good for you.